Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
Hey, kill!
And they'll go on the ground. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. The Pro Bowler, Chris Harris, is in on the tackle.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Let's go.
Strong right.
Hey, Bud. Don't go. 120. Hey, great 15.
Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Check, 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 check.
Kill, 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 kill.
On third down, that's Vaughn. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The numbers for him from a week ago. 12 carries, 58 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Like 22, he's coming. 22.
Wentz to throw on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to have a third down.
Come on now, Owen. Come on now. Let's go.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. 40.
Black, come on.
Check.
Black.
22, back.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
That's how we do it, baby.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting them in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
87's mine. I got 87.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Screen play, Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Now let's go. Boo, landed.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here we go. 120.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there.
Lefty. Kill.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Lion.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Great. Go, D. Let's go. Black. Like 22.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Black. Hey, Gray 15. Black.
Play action. Now Wentz. Found his target. It's Anderson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there at 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Into the red zone. Wentz out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Run.
Now Wentz again. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Liz 5-3. Liz 5-3. Hey, kill. Tighten up.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Will Lutz on for the point after. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's Johnson, and he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
This is Scarborough, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
40, 82, 40.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Green 15, green 15.
On play action, it's Wentz. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming.
They go play action here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Another takes a start. A good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, Stat. Shorty.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
81.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
He throws, and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And with just 1 second remaining in the 1st half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Johnson, and hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is that now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Hey, kill. Hey, Ford Tokyo.
And they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Throwing now is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed. In this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And taken right at the 35. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Illegal touching.
Let's check in with our referee. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Three down. Now let's go. Green, 39.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
39.
He'll look to throw. Underneath for Johnson. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And out now come the Eagles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Lion.
On first down, Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And this is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. Third down here. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now Wentz on third down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matters? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. And shoving his way inside the 35. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter from Oakland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll try and start this drive in the air toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now let's go!
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise. But how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, Keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6.
Black.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Anderson. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Throwing on first is Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
To throw, it's Wentz. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2.
Hey, again.
They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Howell. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Howell. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Over the middle, complete. That's sharp. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Now let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Shorty.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
56, the mic, boys. 56.
Go.
Here we go.
Now Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the first down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Green 39.
Back to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sharp. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He's back to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. He'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. He'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Tight end right. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Set. Blue landed.
Now back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He has been interception-prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
And they will take a knee here. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for Philadelphia, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon.